Gahon. Hope everyone is having a good day. Just getting my day here started. I got my morning cup of coffee as usual. It's my 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. I'm here at Diniwid, Barangay Balabag in Boracay Island in the Philippines. And this is my coffee, this 3-in-1 Copico Blanca. Says here, it's so creamy. That's why I like this coffee. It's got a lot of milk taste to it. Milk taste to it. Hello, Ependency. All right, all right. I know you've been watching our channel for a long time. I appreciate it, my friend. Here in the Philippines, as far as the weather, there's a low pressure area that's inside the Philippine area of responsibility. It's 600 kilometers east of Baler Aurora. Baler Aurora is like in the central Luzon area. So it's good. It's pretty much affecting weather. The weather condition right now, that low pressure area, they're watching it, of course. The Pag-asa, our weather people here, they're monitoring the situation, and within the next 48 hours, it might turn into a storm, but it hasn't yet. So they're keeping an eye on it, and if it does turn into a storm, it will be the first storm, first typhoon in the Philippines. They did that last week. They were thinking that we were gonna get our first typhoon, first storm in the Philippines. Auring. They were gonna name it Auring. And same thing now. If this one turns into a storm, they're gonna call it tropical depression storm Auring. Auring. But right now, pretty much the entire Philippines, we're getting rain because of the monsoon. It's the start of the monsoon season here in the Philippines. Habagat. Habagat is what they call it. Here in Boracay, I could see it, man. It's like yesterday, Dazzle and I, we walked on Front Beach, White Beach in Boracay Island. And it's like the water is almost to like the high tide. It's almost to like the tree line, the coconut tree line. Strong waves. I mean, there's people out there that were surfing. Actually, it's like I've seen that before here in Boracay, but not to that extent. And then what else was? They actually had a sign that says no swimming, a red flag that had no swimming. And there was a time when there was nobody swimming on White Beach. It was like I think we were walking around. My friend of mine actually. Dazzle joined us in the afternoon because you know how Dazzle sleeps in. But my friend and I were walking. We had breakfast at Cafe Maruha in Casa Pilar around 9. And there wasn't anybody swimming at 9 a.m. But later on in the day when Dazzle joined us about, I think after lunch, afternoon, there was people swimming. But man, those waves were strong. I was kind of like surprised how they were letting people in the water, because it's a long beach and there's only limited amount of lifeguards. So and the waves are strong, and you never know with strong waves because when they crash in, they also go out to sea. So you never know when that thing can drag people out to the water, out to the sea. So, but no incidents yesterday. Lots of wave, strong winds. We're getting rain off and on rain. We're always carrying our umbrella. And I think expectation is for the next 2 days it'll be the same. We're gonna be getting rain here. It's typical, it's typical during Habagat season here in Boracay Island. But it's still fun. I mean, you can still go out. People are still out. It's like I'm gonna try to film it. When there's a lot of people on the beach. Because it's crazy how it's like almost like the way, no sun, cloudy, it looks rainy, but people are still out on the beach and swimming. I guess because it's their vacation still. School hasn't started. School starts June 16 on Monday. So I guess it's the last attempt on summer vacation or vacation period before school starts again. And when people come to Boracay, even if it's raining, a lot of times it's their vacation for 4 or 5 days. The rain's not gonna stop them from having fun here in Boracay. Cat Flynn. Hello, hello, Cat. Hello, Cat Flynn. Siege Meister. Hey, buddy. Everything going good for you? Everything's going good. I mean, my friend is still here. He's been here like a couple of weeks now. He flew in from Thailand, but he's heading out like on June 15th. But we've been hanging out. It's been fun hanging out with him. Yesterday we were walking in the morning at Front Beach. We extended his tourist visa because he plans on staying longer here in the Philippines. I think he's headed next to Cebu City and then BGC after that. But it's been fun hanging out with him. It's like we've been friends now for over 2 years, so it was great being able to hang out with him. We went to Army Navy, the Army Navy burger and burrito, and a couple and their son from Minnesota recognized me, and so I said hello to them and everything. It's always nice, like when you meet people that watch you on YouTube, and they're like, "Oh man, we watch you, all the time." It's like it's always good, to meet subscribers like that, because I can tell they're happy. They're happy when they meet me, so I'm happy too, because it's like it's good to put a face to a name sometimes. Everybody, I just see the handles on YouTube on the live streams here, but when you actually meet the person, oh, you're this guy, you've been commenting. It's so cool. It's cool for me. It's great for me. That's why I love it when that happens. Edgar Deem, I was cheating. I checked out the hop on. All right, hey, you're not cheating, man. It's like that's I've actually never ridden it. I've actually never ridden the hop on, off bus here in Boracay, because I have to get a card, and I have to find the office to buy the card. And I guess you load the card, and I'm sure you can load it with GCash, and then you just hop on the bus with that card. Unlimited for 200 for a day. Oh, okay, 250 a day. I mean, that's not bad actually. If you're here for just a day, it's like 250. Man, you can spend that like on a couple of trips. Like, I know if we were here in Diniwid, like on this beach, because we're away from D Mall. It's a good distance to D Mall. I would say probably 3 kilometers, and it's uphill. They don't really like coming out here to Diniwid because it's uphill on this hill, and I guess the battery, it drains their battery. So when we catch a e-trike here all the way to D Mall, they charge us 200 pesos. That's like $3.50 at 200 on one trip, one way. So if we come back, it's like 400. So 250 is a good deal. Usually what Dazzle and I do to save money, we'll catch the hubble. The hubble, like when we open our gate to our Airbnb, there's always a group of them here, like 4 or 5 motorbikes that we can hop on the motorbike, like one motorbike, that both Dazzle and I on one motorbike, and they'll take us up the hill. And they were charge us like 20 pesos each. So for Dazzle and I, it would be 40 pesos. And then when we get to City Mall, from City Mall, we can ride the regular. They call it regular here when you can ride on the e-trike. Usually, it's regular when like there's passengers in the e-trike already, and the driver's like honking at people, like eyeballing them to see if they want to ride. And then when you catch that from City Mall Boracay to D Mall, we've been paying between 20 to 25 pesos. 25 pesos at the most. Some drivers charge 25, some drivers 20. I'm not gonna argue over 5 pesos. So I just give it. I give the 20 pesos, I give the 50 pesos. So all in all, we can go 40 pesos up the hill, and then 50 pesos at the most to demo, so 90 pesos. So that, like I said, that 250 a day, that's still a good deal, because you can travel a lot. I mean, if you're here on vacation, that would be a good deal, because you can check out places on the hop on hop off bus. You can go to New Coast, Boracay. You can go to the Keyhole. You can go. I'm sure they go to the other barangays, like Barangay Manok Manok, Barangay Bulabog, here in Balabag, Barangay Yapak. So, yeah, that'll be a good deal. That'll be a good deal. It's like if you're here on vacation. And I'm sure they have to have some kind of deal for the residents that live long term here in Boracay. But I'll have to check them. I think I saw their office. There's one office near D Mall. I might go in there and just start asking questions. Maybe have them explain to me how that hop on, hop off bus works. Chris Canlas, good morning, brother G. Good morning, my brother. Thank you for joining the live stream. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Today here in the Philippines, it's a holiday. Holiday today here in the Philippines. It's Independence Day here in the Philippines. Independence Day here celebrated June 12th. Back in 1898, Emilio Aguinaldo in Kawit, Cavite, he declared independence for the Philippines against the Spaniards at that time. And that's why we celebrate June 12th. It got changed actually from after World War II. The Americans, from 1898 basically till like the World War II, Americans we went from Spanish rule, like 1521 was Spanish rule, and after the Spanish rule, we went to the American rule. But there was always, with the Americans, when they took over the Philippines from the Spaniards, actually the Treaty of Paris and back in around the 1898 time, they paid for the Philippines 20 million. They bought the Philippines 20 million from Spain. So we were actually, for the longest time, the Philippines belonged to the Americans. But they're always like during that time, in the 1900s, so like World War II, there was always talk about giving the Philippines independence. But after World War II, the Americans, they declared, actually we celebrated July 4th as Philippine Independence Day till like the 1960s. So from like 1946 to like the 1960s, the Philippines had the same Independence Day with the Americans. It was July 4th. But President Macapagal, I'm kind of history buff, as you can tell. I love history, so I like reading about this stuff. President Macapagal in the 60s, he changed it. They did a Republic Act, because they kind of felt like, I guess they kind of felt like that was an American holiday, July 4th. So they switched it to June 12th. But now July 4th, they still celebrate it here. It's called like American Filipino Friendship Day, So, but both days are celebrated here. But June 12th today is the Philippine Independence Day. It's kind of interesting if it's good reading if you're like a history buff, if you like reading history, the history between the Americans and the Filipinos. Interesting. There was actually like not well known, but there was a American Filipino War after the Americans took over Spain. So just a lot. It very interesting to me history wise, because when the Americans were here after World War II, the Philippines was an American, belonged to the Americans. I mean, had the Philippines not gotten independence from America, it could have been still kind of like Guam or kind of like Puerto Rico. But the Philippines, you can't blame the Filipinos because they were under Spanish rule there for like, 300 plus years. It's like, of course, they're wanting independence. And even now, even like I was stationed at Clark Air Base. This was like in the late 80s till 1991. The bases were here. There was still a push to get the bases out of here. And, unfortunately, the Mount Pinatubo, that erupted and that kind of is sped up. But even without that, they were going to push out the American bases here in the Philippines because there's always that sentiment in the Philippines that they wanted independence. They don't want to be viewed as like not part of the U.S. but like control. They don't want the politicians here back in that time during the late 80s, early 90s. They wanted full control of the Philippines. A lot of people always viewed, like, even when the military bases were here in the Philippines, a lot of people viewed that U.S. had control over the government here in the Philippines. But today's Independence Day for Philippine independence, so it's a holiday, national holiday here in the Philippines. Matthew, hey Matthew, all right, all right. How are you? Good morning. I'm doing good, Matthew. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Just getting my day started with my morning cup of coffee here. We got live today. Hey, all right, my friend there, Rabbit Farmer. How it goes? We're doing good. I mean, Dazzle's still sleeping. I've been trying to do this coffee with Ginno since we've been here in the Niwid. I think I've been doing it for over a week now because I'm an early bird. I always get up early. I'm up like at 4:30, 4:35 o'clock. So I figure I'll do this live stream since I have time. I'm not like, I don't have, I have more time here than at home because, when we're at home, there's chores, there's laundry, there's cleaning, there's cooking. Here we're pretty much like mostly eating out. We really are not cooking. It's like we just go out because we're trying out different things here in Boracay, just having a good vacation here in Boracay. And we're here till the June 30th, so we still got a couple of weeks here, so it's gonna be fun for us. It's been fun, and I know we're gonna enjoy the rest of our time here. We plan on doing this more now. I think that's a lot more and more we talk about it. We'll try to do like after this month, stay here in Boracay, 6 months living in our house in Numancia, and then do it again. We really enjoy it this time because like before when we used to go here to Boracay, we take Leanna with us to 4 or 5 days. We're always like go on those 4 or 5 days. It's like you wear yourself out because it's a big 4 or 5 days. You're taking advantage of the vacation. It's like you feel like you gotta squeeze everything. Like wake up early, go to Front Beach, go to White Beach, D Mall, eat lunch, and then island hopping or whatever. Land tour, meet with subscribers. So it's like so hectic when we're like on that 4 to 5 day. This vacation, we're really enjoying it because it's like we're calling it like a slow vacation. It's like even I'm awake early after the live stream, I can just like lay down, chill, relax, wait for Dazzle to get up, and then when she gets up, it's like we really don't have plans. We'll eat lunch at the Carinderia here, or there's a cafe drip here, like eat tapsilog, or and then in the afternoon we might play pickleball at the mall. So it's been a good vacation. It feels like a vacation. It almost feels like our second honeymoon because it's like we're just relaxing, just the two of us. We have Chloe, but it's a nice break from everything. JB Manalang. Hey JB, good morning. Magandang umaga, JB. Good morning. Here in Aklan, we call it Mayad nga agahon in Aklanan. Oh, Daniel, you're here early. I'm glad, man. I know you've been catching me towards the end of the live stream. Good to see you, my good friend Daniel in Jacksonville, Florida. Just for your info, dusk and dawn. Time is when sharks like to feed. Well, I have not seen any shark in Boracay Island or Dinivid. I mean, it won't surprise me if they're out there, but I'm not. It's not known, I guess because there's so much like ferries, so much. And here, if there's any sharks out there, man, I'm sure they'll get hunted by Filipinos because I'm sure they'll get eaten because there's pretty much no fish that I know of here in the Philippines that they don't eat. They pretty much eat. Um, if anything, it's like everything's like so fished out. It's like you'll still see fish in White Beach, but they're like tiny. You don't see like big fishes. You have to go like out, to catch tuna and all that. You have to go out at sea. It's not gonna be near Boracay Island. Once in a while, they'll spot like big fish. They've spotted dolphins here before at in near around Boracay, but not often. Not often anymore. It's rare. It's rare that they spot any big fishes here around Boracay. I still love to swim in the mornings. Yeah, here in Boracay, you've seen it on my videos when I walk front beach. I mean, even now, it's like 5:30 in the morning. There's gonna be people swimming on the beach already. Like I said, it's vacation for many people, so they want to get their day started. They want that full day from, like you said, from sunrise to sunset. They want to like spend their whole time on the beach. And I can't blame him because, it costs money to come to Boracay, airfare, hotel, then your food, so you want to max out. You want to max out your vacation when you come here to Boracay. Hello, Sergeant USA. All right, all right. How was your day yesterday? Day yesterday, a busy day actually because I had gotten up. I met my friend. He had to extend his immigration, his tourist visa. He had to extend. The office here in Boracay, they open at 9 a.m. I highly recommend that office if you need to renew your visa. I mean, there was nobody there. Air conditioned, nice office. And they even have free coffee, free chamomile tea. I mean, I was like impressed. I was like impressed with that office and not busy at all. It's like a lot of offices, like if you go to like Cebu City, the big city, Cebu City, Manila, your immigration office is pretty busy. There's a long queue, long waiting time. But in Boracay, if you renew your tourist visa, there's nobody there. It's like, but my friend, so he went and did the paperwork. He had to leave his passport at the immigration office, and he was instructed to come back at 2 p.m. So that was like 9:30. So we decided to eat breakfast at Cafe Maruja. It's on Station 3 at Casa Pilar. Good breakfast. I mean, good American breakfast. We had pancakes, hash browns, bacon, delicious cafe. We've been there. We've eaten at the Casa Pilar with our friends Joel and Eileen from Arizona before. But the Cafe Maruja, actually, I've never eaten breakfast there. And good breakfast. And what's funny is like I was eating breakfast, and then the chef. I actually knew the chef, the Filipino chef that made my breakfast. I was like, hey man, I know you. So that was kind of cool seeing that. But good day yesterday, and then Dazzle joined us in the afternoon. We were walking White Beach. I mean, we just did a lot. It was a busy day because normally, it's like I try to do everything in the morning, but since my friend is here, it's like we wanted to show him around and all that. So very complete day, very complete day. I mean, from the time I did the live stream to like meeting him there at 9, we were pretty much on the go until up all the way to dinner time. Then after dinner time, Dazzle and I came home to the Airbnb, and I was asleep, man. I think I was asleep by 7:30. I was just tired because I've been You walk here when you're here in Boracay. You do a lot of walking, and I did. I did a lot of walking yesterday. I didn't need to work out or exercise. Got plenty of exercise yesterday walking. Edgar, howdy, howdy. All right, Daniel. Alex HH, man. What I just see in the news is like we living in a real life South Park. We need back the late 90s and early 2000. Since I've been here, actually, I haven't really been paying attention in the news. We've been busy. We've been busy here. We've been meeting subscribers here in Boracay. That's the thing. It's like when people visit the Philippines from the U.S., Canada, a lot of people. This is a tourist destination in the Philippines. So a lot of people come here to Boracay Island, and they people that have watched our channel for a couple of years now, they like, hey, Ginno, can we meet up? And of course, since we're here, and part of the reason why Dazzle and I decided to stay here the whole month, we did have a lot of people coming here in June, so that we wanted to see. So we still stay pretty busy while we're here, but we have our time. I always make sure that Dazzle's always the priority. If that's why I try not to like schedule anything past 10 a.m. I try to schedule breakfast. I do the live streams early, because I want it to feel like a vacation for Dazzle, and it has. It's like the minute she wakes up at 10, I just ask Dazzle, what do you want to do today, babe? You want to go here? Whatever she wants to do. Because I know sometimes YouTube gets to Dazzle, because it's like feels like work for Dazzle, and I told her I don't want to ever YouTube to feel like that for her. That's why I try to do most of YouTube by myself, because I don't want it to feel like work for Dazzle doing YouTube. For me, it's not a big deal. It's like I like staying busy. It keeps me occupied, and I enjoy communicating with people. Help them with their transition here in the Philippines. Lucita from Maine. All right, thank you, Lucita. Good morning, Lucita. Nice to see you. I'm seeing you every day on the live stream. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. The Card Kid. What is your favorite? Man, I have a lot of favorite movies, man. There's so many. I like Shawshank Redemption. I did like a video, thinking about that. How live your life. I did that. I'm just a movie buff. I love Top Gun. It's like there's just so many movies. I can't really say I have a favorite. I watch different kinds of genres. Netflix. Dazzle and I are always watching Netflix. So I'm a movie buff. Do things I really enjoy. I enjoy food. I'm a foodie, and I enjoy watching movies. I think I enjoy movies more than sports. I'll watch sports, but it's no longer. When I was in the U.S., sports was more a big deal. Like, I rarely watch American football now. And basketball I still watch because I like my Lakers. But once the Lakers lose, I lose interest. Same thing. I'm a Dodger fan, so I'll watch my Dodgers. But if they're not doing well, or if they're out of the playoffs, I don't even watch it. So, I did start watching NASCAR, but now I'm so busy now. It's like it's easier just to watch a movie, man. It's like relaxing. Sometimes when you watch sports, that's your team. You want them to win so bad, and it gets when they lose, it's not a good feeling when your team loses. I have one of the first Filipino coin minted, 1947. Oh, nice. There's a lot, I've seen that in museums here at Daniel in the Philippines. I've seen even money that the Japanese printed. There's like Filipino pesos under Japanese government, and I'm sure that one's minted by the Americans. So it's kind of cool when I see that. But I've only seen it in museums here in the Philippines. But it's cool. The Card Kid game. All right. Balikbayan kay. Hello, good morning. Kamusta? Mabuti ako, kaibigan. Salamat. Thanks for the coffee shop video. All right. You like, good. You like the coffee shop. The coffee shop is like two doors down from us. So we've been eating there a lot. You know, it's kind of like it's so convenient. You know, so convenient for us, and the meals are cheap. You know, it's like the tapsilog, they're like 165 pesos. You know, it's like less than $3, you know, so really cheap for us to eat there. And that's the thing, you know, Boracay is pricey. A lot of food in Boracay is pricey. So if you come here on a budget, you know, it's like there are eateries. A lot of Filipinos that come on vacation there, they go to like the Andox. Andox is like a Filipino fried chicken place. That's a cheap place to eat. A lot of budget. Mang Inasal is pretty cheap to eat here, and Jollibee and Chowking. So there are fast food, and then the carinderias, of course, the lower price. But when you go to White Beach at the restaurants like Dazzle and I, we've been eating at some of the restaurants. They're pricey. You know, I'm not gonna lie. It's there. Some of the restaurants like when you want Japanese food, Mexican food, you're gonna pay a price. You know, they're not cheap to eat because it's a tourist destination, and then the food's authentic. I mean, the food's pretty good when you eat Mexican and Japanese food. Greek food. There's just a lot of choices to eat here. Happy Independence Day to the Philippines. June 12th is the Philippine Independence Day. And I'm sure they'll have like events like more in Manila, centered in Manila by Rizal Park. They always, that's where the celebration for Independence Day. But the rest of the country, it's just a holiday, but you know, I don't see many like here in Aklan province. I haven't seen anything that they plan to do on Independence Day. I'm sure the governor's office, maybe they'll have something planned at the capital area of Aklan. But I've been looking at Facebook, and there hasn't been any announcement of like a big event here in our province. And they don't do fireworks here on Independence Day just because usually it's raining, you know, this time of the year. So it's not the same. I mean, the fireworks here in the Philippines mostly happens during New Year's Day. Independence Day, they don't do. Maybe in Manila, maybe in Rizal Park, they might do fireworks there. But here in our province, I've never seen them do fireworks on Philippine Independence Day. Hello, friend. Like, done. All right, thank you. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the like. Appreciate you liking the live stream this morning. Thank you. Thank you, Mike and Venus. Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day, Lucita. It's amazing because, like, you know, on my Facebook, you know, I get Facebook feeds, you know, friends of mine, Filipino friends of mine in the U.S. It seemed like Independence Day seems like it's more celebrated like in other countries. You know, Filipinos that are living in America celebrating it more than the Filipinos here in the Philippines. I think it's just a connection, you know, the youth now. Ooh, the light came up. I'm prepared. Dazzle bought me this light thing. This, let me see here. Oh, maybe it's low bat. Maybe it's low bat. All right, it won't come on. Maybe it lacks charge. I need to charge the light that Dazzle got me here. I thought, oh, there you go. It lit up. Because you know, Dazzle bought me this thing because this light that we have on the balcony here, I guess it's on a timer or on solar power. It cuts out. So Dazzle got me this little light here with a fan. It comes with a fan. But I don't need the fan this morning because it's breezy, nice and cool here. I'm not even sweating at all. It's like nice and cool this morning. But Dazzle got me this light, so it's not gonna be so dark when the light turns off here. Dazzle takes good care of me. She always like watches out for me. My choice is less vacation, but longer ones. Yeah. That's the feeling I'm getting to. I see it, Daniel. It's like, you know, when you have short vacation, you're trying to like do everything in that short. I do. You know, in the future, I think we're gonna do more longer vacations. You know, maybe, you know, like I said, every 6 months we'll try to do 30 days here in Boracay. because we all, Boracay's always been our happy place. It's like we just have fun here. The vibe in Boracay is always good for us anyway. I know some people, don't like Boracay. I've seen it online that they'll post, but for us, it's always been our happy place. It's like when you're walking the beach, everybody's just happy. Everybody's doing the jump shot pictures, TikTok. They're dancing on the beach. Everybody's laughing. It's just a good, good vibe. Every time we're here in Boracay, and then we get to meet people. We get to meet subscribers that come here to Boracay, and then friends, that visit Boracay. It's our chance to see them. You're saying the Filipinos like to take the first bite, eating the sharks first. Yeah, I mean, man, I just know one thing, man. It's like there's not a fish or a seafood that Filipinos don't hunt. I mean, it's like you go to the public market. I can go to the public market, and as a matter of fact, my friend, I took him to the public market yesterday, where the locals shop here, and there's just a bounty of seafood in that public market. Fish that some of the fish I haven't even seen. And that's, even here in Diniwid, like during the day, even during like sunset, stalls just like pop up, because they're catch, they'll have them in coolers, and they'll just like start selling him. And so like lots of seafood, we're surrounded by water, yeah, in Boracay, and in Aklan province, most of Aklan province is coastal, so there's always going to be a lot of seafood here. I actually got interested in the Philippines at 12, reading a book about the freedom fighters in the world. Oh, nice, nice. The Philippine Scouts. The Philippine Scouts the Philippine Scouts were, they fought, freedom fighters. They fought with the Americans during World War II. Actually, some of them, got compensated. I know there was a law in the United States, because they participate, they helped the Americans win the war here in the Philippines against the Japanese. And I know there was a law that actually gave them, I mean, these guys were like now, there's like, almost like 80, 90 years old, but they got compensation for fighting the war with the Americans. Rabid Farmer. My brother and I like Full Metal Jacket. He was second recon. And oh, nice, nice. I love the Full Metal Jacket. It's like, I love that movie. Marine Boot Camp. Yeah, Marine Boot Camp. I think, because I'm military, I'm a retired United States Air Force, 20 years in the military. I love most military movies, Platoon, I've seen that, like, what else? Born on the 4th of July, it's like, I've watched pretty much all military movies. Even Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, man. I can still watch Forrest Gump, and I still like watching it. CC, shout out, please. Beg. All right, CC, shout out to CC. All right. CC. All right, that's cool name. Cool name. Rabbit Farmer. Shark meat is good. Sauteed with garlic and I don't think I've ever eaten shark. I can't say I've eaten shark. I don't remember. I think I would remember if I ate shark. But I don't think I've ever eaten shark, so I wouldn't know the taste. I wouldn't know the taste, my friend. Biggies, support. Hey, Biggies, Mark, my friend Mark. Good morning, good morning. Have a great day. Have a great day, my friend. Have a great day, Mark. Ginno, about how long north to south is Boracay and why? I read something that is like 5 miles total, like all around. White Beach is about, I would say, 4 to 5 kilometers of white sand beach on White Beach. That's why it's so popular, because that beach is just long from end to end. I mean, it's tiring to walk White Beach. It's not a. It's weird how they don't look like a big island, but And the population normally there's about 35,000 between the workers here and the long-term resident. I think the estimate is about 35,000. The different barangays. There's Barangay Manok-Manok, Barangay Yapag, Balabag, Bulabo. I mean, there's several barangays here. There's even like the tribe, the Ita tribe, IT tribe. They have like a area in Boracay where the original indigenous people here in Boracay, they have a certain part of the island where they live. So I'll have to look it up just to make sure, how big it is. But it's like 5 square miles is what the estimate is for Boracay. Hey Tim, good morning, Tim, my good friend in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hey, what's up, man? Hope you're having a good day, Tim. Hey, Kip, all right, sweet light. I know, right? Because before when I didn't have the light, it got dark here when that light bulb there cuts out on me. But now I'm like, and it even has a fan. I didn't turn on the fan today because it's nice and cool here. Kip. Hope you're having a good day, Kip. Hope you're having a good day. I see Kip, he's my friend on Facebook, and he's like liking all the food. We've been eating a lot of good food here, Kip. It's like you're like seeing all the food that Dazzle and I have been eating here. We've been having fun of the different food that we eat here because a lot of that food, Kip, we don't get to eat in Calibo. It's like I have not seen like a good. I don't think they even have a Mexican food in Calibo where we live. You might see nachos or anything, but they're not even Mexican. They're not even a Tex-Mex or Mexican nachos, in my opinion. It's like Filipino version of nachos. But here in Boracay, man, these are legit. These are legit like tacos. Legit tacos or tamales. Even the Japanese food here is really good. It's like in Calibo, it's like the food is more centered to Filipino food. And if they do have like even like pizza or Italian food or Japanese, it's a good attempt. It's a good attempt on replicating it, but it's just not, to me, that just doesn't hit like, I would give most of the foreign food, like most of the Italian, Mexican, I would give it like a 6. I was telling my friend yesterday, if I'm eating a Calibo, it's usually like a 6. And it's a happy 6 for me because a lot of times I don't get to eat that. Like in Calibo, I can't even find a burrito in Calibo, if you can believe that. At least here, if I go to like Army Navy's got a nice steak burrito. It's still not the same burritos. Don't get me wrong. Nothing compared to like Tex-Mex, San Antonio burrito, or even Tucson Mexican food, but it'll have to do. It will have to do. It's like it's one of the things when you come to the Philippines. I've been here 14 years. I do miss some of the really good, authentic Mexican food in the U.S., authentic Vietnamese food, Thai food. They try to imitate it here in the Philippines, but I think it's because of the ingredients. Like one of the key ingredients in good Mexican food is like cilantro and jalapeno. It's like. And here, they might have jalapeno, but it's like that bottled jalapeno, It's not the fresh jalapeno, or a roasted jalapeno, It's like, here it's like the bottled, like a pickled jalapeno. But it is what it is, It's like, I still enjoy it because like, certain, after a while, when I eat, I'm Filipino, so I eat a lot of Filipino food. But after a while, you get tired. You miss like when I was living in America, how you had so many choices. Had so many choices. But managed to troubleshoot that light. And you, sir, all right. Hey, Dazzle, she goes, I think I have a solution, babe. I'll get. And she bought it for me. I was surprised. We were at the City Mall, Boracay. She bought me this light. Me, I'm so frugal, man. I'm like, I'm good, man. They can still see me, but that's so no, they'll see you better. They'll see you better with this, babe. Edgar, is it New Year's or Chinese New Year that fireworks are popular in the Philippines? New Year's, I mean, it's not even New Year's, Edgar. Like the month of December, once the month of December hits, like in our province of Aklan, anyway, I can't speak for other provinces. This is what I've seen here in Aklan province the last 14 years here. I mean, you start hearing fireworks here in the Philippines. I mean, not as explosive as not as like so many of them like on New Year's, but throughout, I would say right before Christmas, like middle of December, people are popping off fireworks already. Philippines is kind of like a thing with Filipinos. They love fireworks. I mean, we actually in our small town. I mean, small town on Numancia, they'll put up these stands right along the highway by Toyota Aklan. There's like they will have like 20 stalls, and they're selling like simple fireworks to like big fireworks. They're selling like rocket launchers. I mean, just a lot of fireworks, and Filipinos like to buy it. And like I know my friend. I call him White Mark because his brother-in-law is Brown Mark, and they're from Numancia. And every time they come here, and even when Brown Mark was here, I went to their house in Numancia by the beach. Man, they buy like 500 of those rocket launchers, the rockets that, and they're not, the rockets that they fire, they're not even like the tiny ones. They're like bamboo, like long bamboo. I mean, they fly, and then they have a system. I have a video of it. I made a video. It's so cool. They line up the rockets, and they'll light up one, and they'll just shoot like 50 of them, like shoom, 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 shoom. It was so cool, man. I've never seen anything like that. They made their own contraption where they can just light one, and they just consecutive like the bottle rocket, and these are big bottle rockets. I mean, the bamboo stick on them was at least, I would say, 2.5 feet, 2.5 feet of the bamboo stick, and then the rocket itself is like good size. So they fly and they blow up, but strong. But on New Year's Day, man, like New Year's Eve is crazy here in the Philippines with fireworks. You'll see it on YouTube, like even in Manila, the big cities. I mean, it's like they spend a lot of money on everybody. It's kind of like it's a Filipino thing. They say it's like, if you bring in the new year with a lot of noise, I mean, they'll be honking their cars, the motorbikes. You make a lot of noise. Everybody, even in our community, that's usually, you've seen our community, super quiet. But on New Year's Eve at midnight, it is loud fireworks, loud, because it's a thing in the Filipinos where it brings, the loud noise is supposed to bring like good luck or something. Filipinos, one thing about Filipinos, man, Filipinos are superstitious. There's a lot of superstitions here that I've never heard, stuff like that. Bring in the new year with a lot of noise. They'll bring in good luck. It's like, I'm often like, people will tell, oh, don't do that. That's wrong to do in the field. That's a bad luck. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know, And you'll find that out when you come here to the Philippines. There's a lot of, they call it here, in Tagalog, they call it pamahiin. It's kind of like we inherited it from our elders, the older Filipinos got a lot of things that, you can't take at a certain time you can't take a bath anymore, or after you work out you can't, they call it pasma, like if I run, I'm sweating, I'm running, you're not supposed to take a shower after you run, because they call it pasma. It's like not good for you. I mean, they got so much stuff like that here, it's like I can't keep up sometimes. They got so much of that stuff. Pamahiin is what they call it. Good morning, hey brother, my good friend Ron Navy. All right, I'm glad you joined the live stream, my brother. Hope everything is well. Hope for everything is well, my brother. Edgar, New Year. Yeah, New Year is like, man, it's like a crazy I mean, you should like YouTube, Google, search it on YouTube. Like put in like Manila, like fireworks in Manila during New Year. It's like I know it beats like any fireworks show I've ever seen. It's like people spend a lot of money here in the Philippines for New Year's to bring in the New Year. Good. Balik guy. Good morning, HD. All right, all right. Edgar, hello, HD. Good morning, balik guy. All right, Edgar Deem. All right. The Great Raid. Oh yeah, I've seen that movie, man. Filipino actor, The Great Raid, was on that movie. Even Cesar Montano. He's a popular Filipino actor. How Filipinos help. Yeah, I mean, like I've seen those movies, and I love all those World War II movies. And Alejandro Ortiz, when you fly long distances, it is best to go to sleep and just wake up. Plain food, time goes. Yeah. To me, I remember. I mean, I haven't flown that long trip to the U.S. in so long now, but I do remember. It is best, like coming, usually when I was coming from the US to visit the Philippines, I never could sleep. Remember, I was so excited, I was so excited. Usually coming back, like leaving the Philippines, usually you're like, oh man, I can't believe my vacation's done. I gotta go back to work. And that, I can sleep because there's no longer anything to look forward to. But usually the flight from the US, I remember going to the Philippines, I'm excited. I'm like reading the pamphlets about the Philippines, it's like I'm opening, like, usually Philippine Airlines would have that big magazine. I'm like reading, oh man, I want to go here. I want to eat this, It's like, I was so excited, it's like hard to sleep when you're excited, but going home was easy. Sleeping on the plane. Heartbreak Ridge, all right, man. I know, right? Man, Clint Eastwood, Heartbreak Ridge, man. That's another Marine Corps movie, It's like Jarhead, Jarhead's another great movie. I mean, it's just, I love like all the, I'm military, man. So, it's like when they do a lot of that basic training, boot camp kind of movies, you can kind of like, ooh, I remember my boot camp. It's like, I'm sure everybody that's been in the military can relate to that. 17 likes. All right, biggies. We're up to 18 likes now. Thank you so much for the likes. Rabbit Farmer, Flight of the Intruder, one of my favorite. I think I've seen that. I'm sure, like I said, there's not just military movies. I'm just a movie buff. I love, like, I just watch a lot of movies. And I'm sure I've seen that. I just gotta look it up. Salamat. Alright, maraming salamat. Walang naman. And the new Midway, also good. Yeah, the Midway movies are awesome, man. The new one, the old one, it's like also good. Yep, man. Heartbreak Ridge. True to Life. Movies about a hero that refused to touch a gun. Also the new Midway. Oh, cool, man. Hey, we like the same movies, man. We like the same movies. Vegas will gambles. Good morning, Kuya Ginno. All right, magandang umaga. Mayad nga agahon, my friend. Thank you. Salamat for joining the live stream. Edgar Deem. Non-military guy, top pick for military movies. Sergeant York. Ooh, that one, man. I'll have to look that up now, man. It's like Sergeant York. Okay, I gotta look that up, Edgar. Kip, just started today's round. Oh, all right. Hey, my prayers go out to you, my brother. You're always in our thoughts and prayers. So kicking back and not having to deal with work anymore. Good. At least, man, it's like work should be the last thing on your mind, Kip. It's like, I know when I went through my treatments, man, I just focused on the treatments. That's what got me through to all my cancer treatments. Like, I took out all the noise, It's like, I would just focus on like one treatment at a time. Is when I did, It's like, Dazzle and I, we spent those 4 months in Iloilo City, and it was just the two of us. And we actually tried to make it, it was a tough living condition there, going through cancer treatments, but I made it like every day was like Dazzle would order Grab. So she would like, we were always like, okay, babe, tomorrow, what are you gonna try? You know, because I couldn't hardly eat, once my radiation started. So Dazzle was like, she got to try like the different restaurants. I mean, we ordered it because back then it was still like just post-COVID, so people were still wearing masks, but we would order like a grab food, and Dad was like picking out all the restaurants in Iloilo City. I tried to make it fun for her. I would even go to the gym with her. I would just sit there and watch her work out, but try to do our life as normal as it could be, for anyone that's going through treatment. So I'm rooting for you, brother. Kip, it's like my prayers go out to you, my brother. Food is good, yeah. I mean, food, best. I mean, as you can see on the pictures, Skip, if you visit here, man, they got amazing food here in Boracay, man. It's like you will not miss many of the food that you eat in the U.S. They got excellent food here in Boracay. I need to send over jalapeno seeds to plant, and that's hey, all right, man. Go. Hey, that'd be a good thing, man. I love jalapeno, man. It's like one of my favorites, and now I can eat it. There was a time when I couldn't handle spicy food because after my treatments, my taste bud and my tongue, if I ate something spicy, it was a weird feeling in my tongue. But now I'm able to eat spicy food again. Not in the level I used to. Man, yeah, I used to like just pop jalapeno, like jalapeno poppers. I never had problem eating that. Spicy chilies, I never had problem. Now I have to limit. It's like my tolerance for heat, like spicy heat, is not like what it used to be. But I still enjoy it. I still, I eat more. I eat. It's like kind of like it's more appetizing. Food is more appetizing to me when I eat spicy. Like when I eat kimchi. Like when I eat kimchi, I eat more rice. I eat more food when I eat kimchi. Super Thanostat. Hi. Hey, hello. Super Thanostat. All right. JB Manalang. Okay. We're in the Philippines. Were you originally from, Ginno, or your family? All right. I was born and raised in Manila. We lived in Tondo, Manila, then Quezon City in Manila. I went to school at Letran College in Intramuros. Then we left, I left the Philippines with my mom to go to the U.S. And I started high school in Long Beach, Wilson High in California. But my province is in Bulacan. Bulacan is our province. I actually visited Bulacan with Dazzle. She met my relatives in Bulacan. I mean, the relatives I had in Bulacan, I had seen them in like over 30 years, but they welcomed me with open arms. They're like, oh, we remember you. It's like we bonded really good. And then I visited my grandmother and grandfather. They're buried in Bulacan, so that was important to me. I got to visit them because I have had good memories of both my Lola and my Lolo. It's like both good memories. So that's why, brought back a lot of emotion to me when I went to Bulacan. And we'll be back there again. Dazzle just don't likes to. She doesn't like to fly. So when we went to Bulacan, actually, we took the ferry. We took the ferry from Caticlan to Batangas, and that's a 12-hour ferry on a boat. We brought our car. We took the car on the ferry, so it was nice when we landed in Batangas. At least I drove to Bulacan, drove through Luzon and all that. So we might have to do that again. We'll have to plan it maybe next year, maybe the following year. But I know we'll do it again because that's been 2022 was when we did that. So I haven't seen my relatives in Bulacan now, for 3 years, and I'd like to see them again. Good people, man. My relatives in Bulacan, they're mostly, they're always rural, like farm. It's like I just like that vibe, with the rural people, like rice fields, real like what I remember. Because when I was young in Manila, I would spend my summer vacations in Bulacan, which is a province in the Philippines. Not far from Manila, actually. Now, especially with the expressway, it's not It's not like when I remember when I was in the 70s, when I was young here in the Philippines. It took forever to go to Bulacan. Now, because the expressway, I think you can get there in an hour and a half from Manila. I'm from Pampanga. Now, all right, you're from Pampanga. All right, man. I know many people. I was stationed at Clark. I was stationed at Clark, late 80s till the Mampinatubo. I still have many friends. Ida, my friend, she lives in Sapang Bato. I actually stayed at her house. I actually got diagnosed with cancer at Medical City Clark. That's what, because before I didn't know about Medical City Iloilo in Iloilo. I thought my plan all the time before was like if I got really sick, I would go to Clark because I knew they had TRICARE. My insurance was taken there. I didn't realize they had one in Iloilo. I would have gone to Iloilo straight, but that was one of the things I learned, because like before I started getting treatments, TRICARE, nobody was discussing like TRICARE medical insurance in the Philippines, so I didn't know a lot of it. I had to do my own research, and now I have videos regarding TRICARE medical insurance. So now I'm pretty good. I understand the system here. So that's why a lot of people reach out to me regarding TRICARE medical insurance in the Philippines because, I know more information about it that I can share. PC, Kip, someone over there needs to holler at Asia to finish up updating their price list. LOL. I haven't been to, the last time I was at Asia Pacific Medical Center, for my last oncologist appointment there, that was in April. So I haven't been there, Kip, in like a couple of months, 2 months now. So I'll have to check. I'll have to check, man. And they're still not under TRICARE, I mean, they've been open almost a year and a half now, Asia Pacific Medical Center. I guess the process of putting a facility on TRICARE now takes a longer time. And I can understand because back in 1999 to 2005, there was a lot of fraud going on here in the Philippines regarding TRICARE. That kind of set back TRICARE here in the Philippines. But now there's I know it's hard to defraud now the TRICARE here in the Philippines because there's only a handful now of preferred facilities, only a handful that direct bill TRICARE. Back in 99 and 2005, all the hospitals were direct billing TRICARE, and that was TRICARE's mistake that they have learned. Now, most of I would say 95% of the hospitals here under TRICARE is certified, where the TRICARE beneficiary like me, I have to pay 100% and file my claim online and then get my 75% reimbursement. And that could be a tedious process with TRICARE. I haven't had a problem like a lot of people say, man, it's a pain, but I've been lucky, I guess. Plus, I understand the system. I was a medical administration with the military for 20 years, so I understand the requirements. All you got to do is fill out the form correctly, the TRICARE form, submit the correct documents. When somebody gets their claim like not approved immediately, it's usually because they're lacking documentation. It's like that's what I've learned. But people are they're quick to say, man, TRICARE, they haven't paid me 6 months on my claim. But a lot of times, like me, I've always gotten my claims paid within 30 business days. I've never had any issues, and I filed like 33 radiation treatment claim, 12 chemo treatment, at least 20 medication claims, and I've gotten reimbursed for every single one. So it's not, it's usually it's the human error as far as like the filing. It's what I've seen. Goku said hi. Hello, Goku. Hello, Goku. Taylor, hi Taylor. Hurt Locker. Oh yeah, Hurt Locker. Isn't that the movie? I think that's the bomb movie. I think that's what I'm recalling what the Hurt Locker was. But I know it's a military movie. I think it's about explosive and bombs. Kip, hang in there. All right, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Rabbit Farmer. Military movie, Tried. Excellent movie. Ooh, wow. All right, man. There's movies that I haven't heard, man. I thought I was pretty good at uh, all this movie. Magat. Okay, I don't. Okay, all right, Tony. I don't. Magatao. Okay, don't know what that means. What don't. I'm due for a follow-up colonoscopy. Is it that time? Is it that time again? Or PH to US grade school. What grade are you? And did you repeat the year when you enroll in the US? No, I didn't have to repeat. When Letron College, it's one of the top private schools in Manila. So it's an all boys Catholic school. So when I graduated elementary in in Manila, when I went to the United States, I got enrolled. I didn't miss a bit. I graduated Long Beach Wilson High at 16. I was pretty young when I graduated. I couldn't even enlist in the military when I graduated high school in the U.S. because I graduated in May and I was 16 years old. I had to wait till August when I turned 17 and I joined the military at 17. And then my mom actually had to co-sign or authorize me to join the military because I was underage, law-wise. I was 17 years old when I joined the military. So my mom had to sign my life away to the military at 17. But I didn't have to repeat. I actually high school in the U.S. was easy for me compared to when I was in elementary school in Letran in Manila because my math and science were way more advanced than my classmates. Because I remember my first year of high school, I was being put at not freshmen. I had classmates that were juniors already, sophomores and juniors on my math and science class. English, yeah, I had to struggle, of course. It's we spoke English in the Philippines, but when I got in our school in the Philippines, I Letran. But when I got to the U.S., of course, the slang, and then how fast Americans speak English. It's usually in English class, I was just quiet. I was just absorbing the English and studying English more at home. But high school in the U.S. was easy for me. I graduated with honors, in high school. Southern Cal Benny. Good morning, Ginno. Have you seen the movie The Final Countdown? It's about an aircraft carrier that time traveled. I think I have. I've seen so many movies that sometimes I have to look again, and sometimes I've watched it, so far back then when I watch it again and I go, man, I don't remember that part or I don't remember this scene, but it could be old age too, I'm getting up there, man. I'll be 59 here pretty soon, like a month and a half, I'll be 59. So I'm not a young buck anymore. I'm not old now. I'm not old. I don't consider myself old. I still consider me young at 59, man. But the years, my memory's not like it used to. It's I have to be reminded many times now. I'm forgetful. I'm forgetful now. Edgar Dean. It's old movie, black and white. They made color starring Gary Cooper. All right. Hey, I've seen black and white movies. I even like those movies that were, the old movies in black and white. I've seen those military movies. They gave me lidocaine cream. Okay, I'm familiar with lidocaine cream, Kip. So at least I barely feel the needles. Oh, that's good. That's good, man. Because I know for me, Kip, when I was going through chemo treatments, man, I hated those needles, man. Because every time I had to do chemo treatments, they had to put an IV on me to run the IV. They have to hydrate me, usually 2 bags of IV before they even start chemo, and then the chemo itself, and then afterwards. So, man, and then when you're going through chemo treatments, for people that that what happens is your veins start collapsing when you're going chemo treatment. So it's it get the longer I had 12 chemo treatments, it got harder and harder for the nurses to get my veins. So it was Man, there was towards like the eighth or ninth chemo, man. It would take them 4 or 5 tries to get my vein, to get the IV needle in. Man, it was just like, it was horrible. I wish they used lidocaine. Man, I wonder why they didn't, man. I wonder why they didn't use lidocaine on me, man. At the time when I was doing treatments, I was just kind of like soldiering up. It's like I was just like whatever they were testing me, whatever IV, whatever they doing, I was just like I was like kind of like bearing down, like okay, I can handle this. Mentally, I was just like I wasn't like I was trying to get in the zone away from all the treatment, especially radiation. Radiation treatment was brutal, man. That was like I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I'm doing the workups for a transplant, so visiting for a long time can happen. All right, all right. Hey, my prayers go out to you, my friend. My prayers go out to you, man. Hope you'll get your health back, man. It's like they got the best medical care in the U.S. It's like I served on that ship. Oh wow, HD, man. I gotta watch that movie now, man. That is cool, man. That's cool. I'm gonna look it up here and see what the final countdown. All right, man. I didn't know you. That's all right. That's all right, HD. I gotta look up that movie now, man. That is nice of them. We cannot have them Lido patches anymore unless ordered by the MD for the patient. Yeah, I never even heard of that lidocaine patches, Rabbit Farmer. I wish they did that on me, man, because like, man, those IVs, man, they were brutal, man. In the beginning, they were okay. I was like, I can handle this. There's no problem. I've had IV before, but man, once my veins start collapsing after about, like I said, about the eighth chemo treatment, man, and they couldn't find my veins anymore. I lost so much weight. I didn't have like the thick veins that when I started, man. It was like brutal, man, brutal. Like I used them to stick ABGs long time ago. And my nurse, I remember Nurse Julie. I remember her name. She was pretty good, like in the beginning getting my IVs put in, but like she warned me. She told me, man, the longer you go through chemo treatments, the longer it's gonna get harder for her to find the vein. And sure enough, man, it was like, man, how when they stick that IV needle, they're just trying to dig into you, man. It was just like, I just had to, like, a lot of times I just had to close my eyes and try to get to a good place because they were painful. After my injury, all the meds changed my body chemistry 25 years ago and still can't eat anything hot, spicy. I know, for me, it's like it changed me when I was going through the cancer treatments. I know, I would say close to a year and a half, maybe close to 2 years even. I couldn't taste hardly most of the food. My taste changed, and then spicy I couldn't handle. I can handle spicy food now, but it's still like not at the level that I used. I used to love spicy food. Now I got to be more careful. I can taste it, I can, but not as much as I enjoyed it before. But I'm still grateful. I'm still grateful because everything's pretty much getting back to normal for me. HD, I'm wearing the hat currently. Oh, I was part of the VA. 165, 92. All right. See, so the Navy guys here. The Navy guys, the Navy guys here are relating to each other here. They have that Navy talk. Can use my tip when flying, buddy. All right, Dazzle can use my tip when flying, buddy. Yeah, it's like she's never been. We've only flown really a couple of times. So one time to Angeles City, one time to Manila, and then the longest flight she's been at. We flew from Calibo to Singapore, and that was fun for Dazzle. That's why after that flight, I remember, I really don't want to put her through that because she was like really afraid, she turned pale, it wasn't fun, even for me, like watching Dazzle, like, I didn't like seeing her like suffer like that. That's cool. APEC, all right. That's all right. Nice, Skip. Our ship company. So the only time air squadrons go on board is when we are deployed. All right, all right. This Navy talk here. All right. When I worked in the medical field during the 80s, saw a huge amount of scamming, TRICARE. Yeah, for here in the Philippines, TRICARE, it's notorious. That's why, TRICARE kind of suffered here in the Philippines for so long. Now I think they have it under control. It's really hard to like. I can see because the preferred facilities now here in the Philippines for TRICARE are your big hospitals here, like Medical City Clark, Medical City Iloilo. St. Luke's Hospital and BGC, Makati Medical. Now, those facilities, they're not going to ruin their reputation because of TRICARE insurance. They're going to make sure they follow all the rules, file correctly. They're not going to overbill. What happened in 1999 to like 2005, so 20 years ago now, a lot of the hospitals that were on the TRICARE list, they were allowed to bill TRICARE, and they were overbilling, making up. They actually caught people. There's like 17 people that got convicted for defrauding the U.S. government. Like over $100 million. So that's why I think TRICARE has learned from that in the system that they have in place now. Like for me, I've been getting my care here in the Philippines the last 14 years through TRICARE medical insurance, and haven't seen any problem. I haven't heard of the last 14 years, I haven't heard any fraud happening with TRICARE. So I think they got it under control now. Michael Manalastas, good morning. All right, good morning, Michael. Good morning, Michael. Hurt Locker EOD job. Yeah, that's what I thought. Rapid Farmer. Because like I said, I've seen the movies. It's just my memory's not as good. If I hadn't seen the movies in a few years, I can probably watch it again and enjoy it because I won't remember the scenes anymore. I did not want that job when I offered. In the US, I wouldn't, EOD, I wouldn't want that job either, man. Also, the recruiter told me I did not have to sign up for organ donation with that job. EOD, all right. Goku, thank you. I heard that some school would not recognize PH and some has to repeat the year. Not me. I guess because like I said, I went to Letron College, and even now, Letron College is a private school in Manila, respected school here in the Philippines. Age is just a number, waiting for that magic numbers. Yes, same here, man. It's like, not that I'm rushing 62. It's like I'm fine. I don't want to rush. Getting that. But it's like I'll be blessed. I know I'll be blessed. I feel blessed once I collect Social Security at 62. HD, I just read that they are decommissioning the Nimitz. I know about the Nimitz now. I heard about the Nimitz. It's currently on its last deployment. Wow, 2020. That's a big deal. I know that's a big deal because the Nimitz is a popular aircraft carrier. Obi, my good friend from Columbia, South Carolina. Good morning, Olson, Aliyah, and Isaiah. Good morning. We're doing well. We're doing well. We're enjoying our time here in Boracay Island. It's been a good vacation, and we still got a couple of weeks here in Boracay, so we're having a great time. Super not stop. Hi, all right. Super then no stop. Super then no stop. Shito motivation. I said hi. Hey. Good morning, Shito. Motivation. Southern Cap, that's what I heard. They did a lot of modernization for it, but I guess the cost for staying up to date is no longer worth it. Yeah, I can see that, man. I can imagine the cost for the aircraft carriers, man. extremely grateful that I can still eat my seafood. Yeah, I mean, you should be grateful, Daniel, because me, I can't. I can no longer eat shrimp. I know I can no longer eat crab. Anything shellfish, I can no longer eat like oysters, scallops. I can't eat. Those were some of my favorite food. Mussels. I can't eat none of that now because I developed allergies after my chemo treatment. So I miss them. I miss eating those. So be thankful that you can do that. You can at least do that. I pretty much can only eat fish now, and I even have to be careful of what fish I eat. Usually I know certain fish that I can eat, and I just stay with that fish. If I see a fish that's not foreign to me or new to me, and they got so many fish here in the Philippines. I take my time. Take a little piece, and I'll make sure I'm not allergic because having an allergic reaction is not fun. It's not fun and dangerous. I don't want to go into like a dangerous situation. So I'm cool now. If Dazzle eats crab or she eats shrimp, I'll just watch. I'm not even tempted to try a little bit. I remember scavenging the U.S. Kitty Hawk, Kitty Hawk at Bremerton for parts while Nimitz was in the shipyard. Oh, cool, man! You got some good stories there, HD. I'm sure that was cool experiences. I had an oncology patient who was a commander on an aircraft carrier. We talked all night about the Navy and the inner workings of the launcher catapults. Oh, cool, man. I bet that was interesting, Rabbit Farmer. I bet that was interesting. I love meeting military guys here in the Philippines because there's a lot of retired military retirees here, a lot of veterans, different services, and when you meet when I meet them, it's interesting. Navy, Army, Marine Corps. My good friend Gray. He was in the Marine Corps. He was in the Army. So it's good to talk. It's like, oh man, there's similarities to the experiences, but there's also big differences among the services. But we're all brothers in arms. So it's we got that bond. I don't think it doesn't matter if you're Army, Air Force, Navy. It's like there's a certain bond that we all been there. We all serve our country. So we always we get along. It's like I never had any problems with that. They're my closest friends are military people. Oh crap! There goes another carrier. I deployed. Oh man, you deployed on that, Kip. Oh no. Yeah, well, that's part of life, Kip. I think we're all feeling that because, like you said, for you, man, the aircraft, another decommissioned. For me, man, it's like the bases that I was stationed at. Most of them are gone. I was at Clark. That's closed. I was at George Air Force Victor. That's closed. I was at Brooks Air Force Base. That's closed. So most of the bases that I was stationed at no longer exist. So it's like. Our age is showing. Our age is showing when that happens because I can remember the base, but they don't no longer exist. At least the aircraft carrier, I'm sure once they decommission it, they'll park it somewhere. You can still visit it. Most of the bases that they close, they turn it into something else. Or when you go to those bases, the old bases, they're ruins. They're deserted now and they're scary looking. I know my friend went back to George Air Force Base, our first base in Victorville, California, and he said, "Man, that place is scary, because it's becoming like a ghost town. Graffiti on the hospital, graffiti on the base housing. It's terrible looking." Rabbit Farmer Commander. I can think of 3 departments they could be in the carrier. Bridge Command, Nuke Department. Ooh, Nuke. Oh yeah, that's right. The Nimitz got nukes, man. It's nuclear powered. That's right. Or Conventional Engineering Department Head. We can have 3 full birds, Navy captain and an admiral, all in one ship while in deployment. Wow. You got a lot of rank. On deployment, HD. Good morning, Ginno. Skating Geezer. May I ask, do you get your t-shirts locally or online? You know what? I've never bought an Air Force t-shirt. I haven't seen them here in the Philippines. All the t-shirts, the Air Force t-shirts that I wear, they're given by subscribers. Usually when they come visit to the Philippines, that's the first thing they hand me, because like they know I like wearing them, and that's why I like wearing them, because they mean something to me, because I remember each shirt, who gave them to me, you know. So this one was given to me by my good friend in Hawaii. So to me it's like they mean a lot, you know. Even Kip sent me Kip Merriman on here on the live stream. He sent me a shirt. He ordered it through Prime, Amazon Prime, and it got shipped to me. One of my shirts that has Master Sergeant retired, he got me that shirt. So you can order it. You can order. I know, but because Kip did that for me, you know, he's so kind that he did that for me. You can do that. You can order Amazon Prime and have it delivered in the Philippines. Yeah, all right, man. You know, it's like I'm proud, man. I'm proud of my service, man. You know, it's like that's one thing nobody can take away. You know, it's like that's one of my biggest accomplishments in my life is I'm United States retired military. You know, because anybody that's been in the military, you can't take away from anybody that if you served 20 years in the military, you went through a lot. Surviving 20 years in the military is not easy. You know, it's like, and us that retired in the military, we have an appreciation for that. We have a lot of respect. You know, even the people that did 4 years. You know, we have a lot of, and anybody that served in the United States Air Force, Air Force, Army, military. You know, it's like because it's all volunteer. You know, and then we go through the same boot camp. You know, we go through the same yelling from our drill instructors. You know, that kind of like bonds us, I think, forever. You know, my birthday is first half of April, and got my all right, good night. My first check in July. Oh, all right. I'm thinking you're saying, Daniel, it's probably Social Security. I'm thinking that's what I'm trying to put it together, you know, because I know there's some people have told me when you apply for Social Security that like on your birthday month you don't get paid. A lot of times you get paid like a month after, you know. I don't know until I turn 62, but that's what I heard. But you get paid from the date, you know, you turn 62. So it's not like they're not gonna pay it. It might be a delay of payment. Obi, I heard they're ramping up the military presence there. I hope they build real bases there again. Having a commissary, oh, it would be nice. They have been ramping it up. You know, there's 8 Filipino bases that are the Americans are allowed to use, and the Americans are putting in a lot of money in the bases. I'm talking $50 million on one base, $60 million on one base, but I think that's about how it's gonna be. You know, it's like the mutual defense agreement. I don't think we'll ever see. I mean, never say never, of course, but I don't think we'll ever see like a military base here run by the Americans like Clark Air Base used to be and Subic Naval Base used to be, because I mean the program works now. You know, I mean Americans are investing a lot of money on the Philippine bases, upgrading the runway, upgrading the dormitories, you know, because, you know, when Americans deploy to the Philippines, you know, it has to be like, you know, the runway's got to be American standard. The housing for our troops have to be American standard. So I think it's always just going to be like that, because the one thing I've noticed here in the Philippines over the years, because I've been around the Philippines during the military and now 14 years here, there's a lot of like nationalistic things going on in the Philippines. They're proud, you know, Filipinos, and rightfully so. You know, it's like the having independence, having like that, especially on Independence Day today. You know, like having their freedom to decide for themselves, because that's one thing. You know, I grew up during the, you know, in the 70s and even the 80s when I was stationed there. There was always like a feeling that the Philippines was run by, when the military bases was here, also, there was always a feeling that the Philippines was owned by the Americans, even though we weren't like a territory anymore. We were like, we were an independent country. But, the feeling was when the bases were here, Americans had a lot of influence with politics in the Philippines and all that. That's why they always push for the bases out, because even before Pinatubo kind of like sped up the closing of the bases. They didn't renew the lease for the military bases. But even before that, there was a big sentiment in the Philippines to remove the military bases here just because of that. They always felt like the U.S. had influence in the politics in the Philippines. So, I think the mutual defense seemed to work. The Balikatan exercises. Now there's like missiles here deployed in the Philippines that can strike China. So I think that's about. But like I said, never say. I wish. I'll be happy if they had a commissary in BX here in the Philippines. TRICARE is the flagship in a strike group. It's the pretty big ship. Yeah, and I've seen that, how the strike group, the big carrier, and then all the destroyers or all the other ships. And that's kind of cool. I always see a picture of that HD, like on Facebook or even I've watched YouTube videos. It's like a spectacular looking when they're out in the ocean, like deployed like that striker group. It's like impressive, man. 2 ship stores. All right. OB, love to see military and the PH and be able to shop there. Yeah, I think we all would. I think that's and then the medical care. If they, because like one of the things when the military bases were here, the retirees that live in the Philippines, you can go get medical care at the hospital. Because I worked at the hospital and we had many military retirees, their dependents of retirees, We lost all that when the military bases left here in the Philippines. Cove Thunder. Yeah, Cove Thunder. I remember Cove Thunder, Rabbit Farmer. I remember that at Clark. Big TDY. We get people from Korea. We get a lot of people from Korea for Cove Thunder. We got people from all over PACAP during that time, even from Alaska, from Guam, from Kadena, from Yokota. Cove Thunder was a big exercise at Clark back in the 80s. You missed the first part of my comments on Social Security. Oh, my bad, man. My bad. My mistake, Daniel, because like I'm scrolling through this and sometimes I miss it. My bad. My mistake, man. My mistake, Daniel. But I figure it had to do with Social Security because, like you were saying, I have heard about delays. Like for people filing, there's like a month or 2, sometimes 3 months of delay. But they pay you. Eventually you get all that pay retroactive to the date, that you start your Social Security. Mustang, hey, my good friend David in Canada. I can only imagine what you've been through, all the mental anguish and physical pain, but you saw it through. I'm proud to call you. Oh, thank you, me old mucker. Thank you, me old mucker, man. It's like, appreciate it, my friend. Yeah. I mean, it was a battle, it was a battle. No 2 ways about it. It's like, but it made me stronger. I survived it, and now I feel grateful for each day of my life just because I think most people that go through something life-threatening, it's like it changes you. It changes your outlook in life. I know it changed me, it's like I try to live each day now, it's like I treasure each day. You can see I wake up early in the morning and I'm eager to start my day. I got that, I just have that feeling of gratefulness because, nothing is guaranteed. It's like we all want to live as long as you want, but nothing's guaranteed. It's like, and I've lost friends, like most of, once when we were getting older, we lose friends, unfortunately, to illnesses, to accidents, to age, so that it's just, I had a good friend of mine, Major Hankins, one of my supervisors. He passed away from cancer, so it's like a couple of years ago. So, it's like we all go, we all know how it is. That's why for me, like I'm just grateful. I'm still here. I'm still healthy. It's like I'm gonna enjoy every minute of it. Hey, Joel, my good friend in Arizona, Park, Arizona. He lives, Joel and Eileen, they live close to the Grand Canyon. It's like up a higher elevation. They get a lot of snow during the winter where Joel and Eileen lives. It's cool where Joel and Eileen lives because he'll send me pictures of like the wildlife. They got some cool wildlife that, in Arizona. Ali Nawan, hi. All right, hello, Ali Nawan. Hello. HD Gino, were you able to check out the events in La? I think you're referring to Malay. Yesterday, HD, I was just so busy running around. I look on my Facebook now, but they haven't announced any events at Malay. So I'm like, I'm thinking they should have something here in Boracay because there's more people here in Boracay than in Malay. Like the town plaza in Malay, if I go there, there's not hardly anybody goes there, and not that many people live. Most of the people in Malay live here in Boracay Island or Katiklan, man. But I haven't. I didn't get a chance. Busy day yesterday. My good friends here. We were busy with his tourist visa. Just I actually like running out of time, man. It was like yesterday was super busy day, but maybe today, not when Dazzle wakes up at 10, maybe we don't have anything, so I can research more what kind of events they will have at Malay for, I guess Malay Day, or it's like they have so many of those events like Aklan Day, Malay Day, the Panay Island Day. It's like I can't keep up with it, man. Sorry, hey, no problem, man. No back pay on your delay SS. Oh, no back pay? Oh, man, that's terrible. That's terrible. That no back pay, man. Yeah, man, I would be mad if I like, if my Social Security support supposed to start on my birthday and then no back pay. That's horrible. That's horrible that they did that, man. I thought everybody has told me that, if it's the delay that you'll still get back pay. Man, I hope that doesn't happen to me, man. I'll be mad, man. It's like, that's benefits that we earn, that's like shortchange you there, Daniel. Our spot at Clark area was the hangar for Cope Thunder. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I remember, man. I remember even at the hospital, 13th Air Force Medical Center, by our loading dock, they would have keggers in there. They would bring a keg out there, like Friday afternoon after work. They're like a squadron function. They call it squadron function, but it's like drinking beer from a keg. How are you? I'm good, Alfie. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Can I live on 1,200 in the Philippines? Yes, depending on your lifestyle. I mean, I know many people live on 1,200 here. The main thing you gotta watch out for is like you have to have a medical budget, an emergency medical fund, because that would be the one that could ruin your retirement if you retire here on $1,200 alone. But man, there's people here living on that, because like even here in the Aklan province, if you're looking for like a one bedroom furnished apartment, my friend, I found him an apartment here in Calibo, 8,000 pesos. So that's about $150. So you'll still have over $1,000 left, and you got your housing covered already. But again, that the biggest thing is like, to me anyway, when I advise people moving here, I always tell them you have to have an emergency fund, because there is currently no Medicare here. So if you come here and you're on Medicare, you can't use that in the Philippines. So in medical here, even though medical is cheaper in the Philippines, if you get admitted to a hospital and you spend days in the hospital, man, it can get costly even here in the Philippines. So that's one thing you have to consider. You can live on a small budget. Many people do. Many people move here on a small budget, but you have to have an emergency fund just in case you need to fly back to the U.S. and use your medical care. And I have friends here that's their plan. It's like they'll, for minor things, for checkups, for EKG, for blood work, they'll do that here. But the minute something major happens, their plan is to fly back to go to the US and use their Medicare. JB Manalang. Depends on the lifestyle you can live in and where, but you can certainly. Yes, I'm glad you said that, JB. Again, I mean, depends on where, if you're looking for province life, very doable on $1,200. But if you're looking more like city life here in the Philippines, like Manila, Cebu City, Iloilo City, it might be a crunch. It's still doable, don't get me wrong, but I have just known more people, live on lower budget living in the province. But you have to make sure when you select the province, you have to make sure that there's medical care available to you in that province, because people just ignore that sometimes. And that, when we get older, that's a key piece to like retirement in the Philippines is your medical care. I want a quiet, simple life. Yeah, many of us do, Alfie. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here in Aklan Province. It's one thing I love about Aklan Province: low cost of housing, low cost of living, and quiet. I get peace and quiet here in Aklan Province. It's like even in our community at Camellia Aklan, it's like I can walk in the morning, walk at sunset in our subdivision. Nothing ever happens. It's like that's the thing I enjoy the most. It's like a quiet, simple life. It's like no noise, no stray dogs, no stray roosters, no motorbikes, none of that. That's what I enjoy. And even in Boracay here, it's like that's why I like getting up early. I like walking early at the beach. After this live stream, I'll walk Chloe to Diniwid Beach. I just like the peacefulness. I think that's what we search. A lot of us. I also know people that still, they like that city life, the Western conveniences, that's what they use. So nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. JB, yeah, province life, definitely. I meant the LA riots. Oh, LA riots. I haven't even heard. Man, I'm like, I don't watch the news much, HD. My bad, man. I thought you were talking, because I remember yesterday you mentioned about activities in my life. Check out the event. I haven't had time to look at the news, man. I will after this live stream. I'll look at the LA riots, man. That's horrible that they have LA riots again, man. And I've spent time in Los Angeles, man. That's just horrible. I didn't even know that they had LA riots. Yesterday wasn't, I was just so busy yesterday. I didn't have time to even look at my Facebook. It's like. Usually, Facebook seems to be my news because I have so many friends in Facebook. Like in LA, my good friend, I went to the military with I usually get updates from him. So if anything happens in LA, usually he'll post something. So, and I didn't see a post, yesterday because I wasn't paying attention to my Facebook. I will definitely, HD, I will look at the LA riots I'll watch the videos as soon as I'm done with this live stream. Man, LA just can't get a break, man. They had the fires in LA, now riots. Man, they just can't get a break. Said Alfie. All right, Alfie. If you find a Filipina, Alfie, maybe not. That's true. I mean, that's got, there's truth to that. I mean, you can do it on that budget, but once you meet a Filipina, that adds expense. That adds expense once you meet a Filipina. Something to think about. Can I still draw my SSI if I keep my untied state's address and banking? SSI, I know if there's a difference from like regular Social Security, that must be like disability. So I can't talk about that because I don't have experience regarding Social Security if it's disability related. Because I know Social Security, I know they have certain rules that like you have to have a U.S. address. Like for regular Social Security, like when I turn 62, I don't have to maintain a U.S. address. My Social Security, when I apply in Manila at the embassy in Manila, I can designate it a Filipino bank, one of my Filipino banks here, and they can send my Social Security checks to the Filipino bank. So I could talk about that because I've done enough research on that, and I know friends that do that. They get their Social Security here in a Filipino bank, Filipino account in pesos. Now, as far as like the disability, I just don't know enough about it. I know they got certain rules about residency, living in the U.S. I've kind of heard about that, but I'm sorry, Alfie, I'm not familiar with that. If you keep it to that's man, that's funny. That's funny. Rabbit. Find me one. Ella, find me one. Find me one. You guys are funny. My feelings exactly. I asked many times why SSA did pay me for the almost 3 months delay. Was told by SS that the government policy. Oh man, that's horrible, man. That's horrible, Daniel. Man, that's horrible. Man, I hope that doesn't happen to me. I hope when I collect Social Security, they don't shortchange me like that. Using my USA debit card and banking in the US. Yeah, I mean, many people come here. They just get money from their ATM using their ATM card, debit card. It works here. The fees, depending on your bank, depending on the ATM that use it, could be expensive. Could be as high as like $5, $6 per ATM use. So, you might want to look into like money transfer, like open a Wise account, open like a Remitly, Zoom, open those type. The more ways you can move money to the Philippines, the better for you, because you can send through Remitly, you can send yourself money here and pick it up here in the Philippines at a payment distribution center here. The more ways you can access your money in the US, the better. And then eventually you'll be able to open a bank account here in the Philippines. Once you come here on a tourist visa, once you get your ACR card, there are banks here that not all banks now, depending on where you live here in the Philippines and depending on the bank. Some banks are lenient about letting you open on a tourist visa, some won't, so you'll have to, my suggestion always to people is, once you pick out the area where you're going to retire in the Philippines, like let's say you pick Calibo or you pick Iloilo City, start joining groups in that area, like expat groups on Facebook, and like learn from them. Ask them questions like, what bank allows expats to open a tourist visa? You'll find that out on those Facebook groups. I've learned a lot I have like groups like Positive Minded Expats in the Philippines. I have those groups that I belong to, Philippine expats, that I learned from them. I mean, sometimes there's a lot of noise in there that you don't want to hear, but I just ignore the negativity and all the negative stuff on those groups. I focus on the good guys that share good information. I mean, I think you'll see that in any group. You'll always, no matter what group you join, there's always going to be the negative Nellies. Everything in the Philippines to them is negative, and I don't get it because they live here. It's amazing. It's like they're like, so they bash about everything about the Philippines, negative about the Philippines, but they live here. It's like, if you're not happy in the Philippines, if you're negative about the Philippines, why are you living here? It's like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. But everybody has their own thing, everybody, it's like, that's why when I go on those groups, I focus on the guys that I know that post good things, good information on those groups, and you'll always find them. And if you once you select the area where you want to go, Alfie, try to meet somebody that's there, boots on the ground. That's, if you're moving to Iloilo City, it's good to have a friend already in Iloilo City before you get there, that can guide you to all the process, that's been through the process already, that because if you just rely on YouTube or rely on what you watch, man, it's just you'll get confused, because different bloggers will tell you different things. The ones that, once you can find somebody you can trust in that area that's been through it, you can tell if they're helpful or not. That's the best way. We'll need to check into it, but I remember hearing that you can use Medicare in Guam. Yes, you can you can surely use Medicare in Guam, Kip. Many do that. Many do that as a plan. It's like once they get sick, they fly to Guam, and they've actually made it into like a medical tourism kind of thing, where when you land to Guam, they got a system in place. I've researched it before, Kip, where the minute you land in Guam, they got people to assist you to get you through the Medicare system going at Guam. But the one thing to keep in mind, Guam's not cheap, man. Being an American territory, everything has to be shipped to Guam. Because I've been to Guam a few times. I've been to Guam, and my friend was stationed at Guam at Anderson Air Force Base when I visited him there. And that's one thing I noticed. Guam is not cheap, because it's a isolated island, so everything has to be flown to Guam. So if you're living there for any extended period of time, it's not cheap. It's not a cheap. It's probably cheaper. A lot of places in the U.S., states in the U.S. are cheaper to live than in Guam. Was told by an extremely rich guy, it's not about how much you have, it's about what you do with what you have. I have lived by that for decades. Yeah. Same thing here. My advice to people is, people will always say, well, I got $7,000, I got $5,000, $4,000 when I retired there. It's really not how much you bring to the Philippines or your pension or your retirement. It's how much of it you spend a month. If you come here and you have you have $3,000 coming in and you're spending $4,000 a month, you're not going to stay here long. But if you come here and you got $1,200 that come in here, but you only spend $900 a month and put away $300 a month, you're gonna live long here. That like me. I came here on my military pension alone, and every single month that I've been here, I put away portion of my military pension. For 14 years, I've been able to set aside money. Every month, I save money. So I've been able to build a nest egg. I've been able to buy a brand new car here, paid cash for it. I've been able to buy a house here. I still have 6 years on my mortgage, but in 6 years, the house that we have at Camellia Aklan will be free and clear. And my house payment anyway is like $200, on a 2-bedroom, one but in a gated subdivision. So to me, it's doable. Anything is doable here in the Philippines, as long as you live within your means. The minute you start living above your means, you're in trouble here. You're in trouble. It's easy to get carried away here. Like the talk earlier, you meet the wrong. I always tell this to people, man. You gotta meet the right Filipina here. Because if you meet a Filipina here that likes to spend your money, it's not gonna go well for you. It's good to meet a Filipina that, if you're a frugal person, like I am a frugal, Dazzle's frugal. We have this, we got that from the beginning. We got it locked down to where we're going to live frugal. We'll live within our means. You're all set. But man, finding the right Filipina, that's a key. That's a key here, when you come here. Good morning, Sir G. All right, hello. Thank you for joining the live stream. Thank you so much. The riots have been blown out of proportion. It happened in downtown LA. The rest, okay, all right. I haven't seen it, Southern Cal Benny, but I will. Right after this live stream, I'm gonna go ahead and look at the LA riots. I just haven't seen it. It's not even on my Facebook. I'm surprised, Even, I checked this morning real quick. I have to answer my Facebook, my messenger, and I didn't see anything about the LA riots. Maybe because we're so far here in the Philippines that it's not. But mostly, I have friends in LA. It's that I went to the military that work in Los Angeles. One of my friends, he works in Orange County, so I'm surprised he hadn't posted anything. I'm drawing my supplemental income. All right. Again, Alfie, I just don't know enough about the supplemental income. I just don't. I'll start researching. I'll educate myself because Social Security, like I said, is still about 3 years down the road for me. I have researched collecting Social Security when I turned 62. I have researched like getting my money, my Social Security here in the Philippines, deposited into a Filipino bank. I've done research, but I don't understand like the whole supplement. I mean, Social Security is so big anyway. There's so many things with Social Security. I did a video regarding Social Security here because I noticed a lot of a lot of people here on Social Security are having kids, and I did a video on that. I did research on that. That if you're 62 collecting Social Security, you have a kid here, your kid is entitled to Social Security until they're 18 or 19 if they go to school. But they can collect half of your Social Security, 50% of your Social Security. So if you're collecting 2,000 and you have one kid, your kid's gonna get 1,000. If you have two kids, they're each gonna get 1,000 each. And if you die, the kid is eligible 75%. I mean, there's so much stuff in Social Security that they don't advertise that there's stuff like that. You have to really dig into like Social Security and research that information. The LA has been burning from arson and looting for about 5 days now. Wow, 5 days? Man, I'm surprised I haven't seen that. I was like, I've been looking at my Facebook for like 5 days at least. I haven't seen anything. I haven't even seen it, my YouTube feed. Man, they're slacking on my YouTube feeds, man. I haven't even seen anything about it. Because, I have to check my YouTube to answer comments. And usually I'll have feeds in there. And usually the important feeds, but I haven't heard, man. I haven't heard. Just a heads up. I call those people invaders since they fly foreign flags on U.S. It's like I've seen that. I've seen people flying foreign flags in America. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what's up with that. I don't understand that either. I read that some Guamanians actually fly to Manila. They do. That's true. That's true that some Guamanians fly to Manila because Manila has some of the best hospitals in Asia. Like if you go to St. Luke's Hospital in BGC, and if you go to Makati Medical, man, top-notch doctors there. U.S. trained doctors, U.S. Licensed doctors, and they just choose to go back to the Philippines and practice in the Philippines. Some of the best doctors in Asia are in Manila. So I believe that. I believe that what you read, that Guamanians fly. Because in Guam, if I remember, Anderson's there, Anderson's Air Force Base and the U.S. Naval Base, but I don't hear many top-notch like private, I don't know of any top-notch private hospitals in Guam. Would not surprise me if you can get better care in Manila than in Guam, as far as like civilian wise. I know that they have the Navy base. If you have military access, I know they have a good military hospitals, are pretty consistent. And I know the Air Force got pretty consistent doctors, but would not surprise me at all. Would not surprise me if some Guamanians fly to Manila to get care. Oops, did not pay me. That's just horrible, Daniel, that they did not pay you what you're supposed to get. I don't mind them flying on homes on stores. Yeah, I see that, HD, but they are flying them to protest against the U.S. and going again. I don't buy that either, HD. I'll be like upset with that too, HD. It's like I don't know who would be watching them anyway. What? Like me. I'm a patriot. I'm an American soldier, man. I'll be like, why are you flying your flag on U.S. soil, man? I don't have a GS, so my cost is way down. All right. Southern Calbeni. I'm not surprised. Guam is pretty small compared to the Philippines. Correct. And like I said, man, some of those hospitals in in Manila. There's some of the best hospitals I've ever seen. They're better than the hospitals in the U.S. that I've worked in before. It's like I know Makati Medical and St. Luke's Hospital. They look newer than the hospital I worked at in Tucson, Arizona, man. Bigger and newer. More advanced looking. OB Adventure, yeah, HD. They fly their. Oh man, that's horrible. That's horrible, man. I can't. I might be mad when after I watch videos about that. Is it true you have to buy a round trip ticket or you can't come over? No, that's not that I know. That I know, Alfie. All you have to do is buy a one-way ticket to the Philippines. If they have there's this thing. I don't have it offhand, but onward ticket. Go to onward. It's onwardticket.com, and you can buy like a $14 for $14 you can buy a ticket to say that you have an onward ticket to like another country like Thailand or something. So they won't. You don't need a round trip ticket to fly to the Philippines coming from the U.S. You'll just have to do more research, Alfie. I can just tell you haven't done enough research of the Philippines. My suggestion, if you want, all my contact information is in all my videos. Go Dazzle TV on the description. My WhatsApp, my Messenger, my email is there. Ask me all the questions that you have, and I'll do a personal reply to you. All the questions you have. I don't charge any money. Never have charged any money. So don't be afraid to contact me. I'd be happy to help you answer all your questions. But I can tell from the questions that you have, you haven't quite done enough research, my friend. So I can do a one-on-one. It's like because those kind of things. There's so many things that you have to do and understand before you come to the Philippines, and I can guide you through the process. I've guided many. I've had a lot of people that are happy that I've helped them through the process. God bless. All right, God bless. Hello, thank you very much for joining the live stream. I'm up at 2 hours now, so I'm gonna end the live stream here. I just want to get through all the comments here. Bye, everyone. Bye. Take care. Balik Bayan guy. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much for joining. Take care, HD. All right, HD. What's ironic about it is they're flying the flags that they don't want to be sent to. They left the country to get away from it and want to agree. Yeah, I don't buy that either. I mean, that's like terrible, man. It doesn't make sense if you're flying a foreign flag in America. Not many Americans are gonna like that. It's like that's dumb, man. In my opinion, life is like fishing. You must learn to throw back the small ones and bad negative. Yeah. Ignore all the negativity. This is my thing, Daniel. Hey, he said hi. Safari, all right. Safari Tours Africa. Thank you for joining the live stream. Exactly that. It doesn't make sense. It's just sad. Yeah, I agree, Olsen. That's just sad. I know we're happy to the Philippines. Yeah, you won't have that. No flag, no riots, no protests going on in the Philippines, man. My wife has me on allowance. $30 a month. All right. Ouch. All right. So you're saying smoking hot Filipina with blonde hair and long nails might not. Edgar. Many good Filipinas here. Many good Filipinas here to meet. That I always tell people that's the biggest mistake you'll make in the Philippines is if you meet the wrong Filipina, that can go very sideways bad for you. It's like take your time. Don't rush into a relationship with a Filipina. Get to know your Filipina. Vet the Filipina. Find out the Filipina's family. Don't commit too fast. Don't commit too fast to a Filipina here. My plans is to save the 10th travel vacation and another 10 per se. Yeah, as long as you're saving, like I said, whatever money, whatever pension you get, however little it is, as long as you're putting away money for a rainy day, $200, $300 for a rainy day, that's plenty. Just build up your nest egg for that emergency fund. OB. What? Linda Gonzalez. Hi, Gino from Toronto. Oh, Toronto. All right. Canada, Canada. All right. Gino, one thing to add to finding right is to change how you view currency. It seems cheaper when you look at in terms of US, but start to view. Yes, yes. Uh, and most people when they come to the Philippines, it takes them a while because in their head they're still computing in dollars. And the only reason I mentioned that when I mentioned like pesos and dollars, because I know a lot of viewers haven't moved here yet. I want them to like kind of like in their head, oh, that's how many dollars. But the minute you like absorb, like once you start living here, living like a Filipino, everything in pesos. Get out of that mentality. I gotta tip everybody. That's like you can tell the newbies. I call them the newbies, the new foreigners that come to the Philippines. They're always tipping the tricycle guy, tipping the jeepney. I mean, they're always tipping. Here in the Philippines, it's not a tipping culture. It's okay not to tip here. It's like you're not a cheapskate if you don't tip here. You don't have to tip everybody here. A lot of the people that's been here a while, they're saying, man, here's another foreigner throwing away, giving away their money, making it all expensive for us that's been here a while. So, that's another mindset that you got to get rid of. It's like that, tipping everybody. I have heard that before, HD. If visiting, spend like you're on vacation, but if you move, adapt. Exactly. Exactly. That's a perfect analogy there, Kip. I'll do the same thing. When I'm on vacation in Boracay, I'm not worried about money because it's vacation, I'm not trying to budget everything because when I'm on vacation, I want to splurge a little. I want to spend a little more because I'm on vacation, But when I get back home, I'm back on my budget. I'm back on like, hey, babe, we only have this much money for grocery, this, much money for electricity, but we're on vacation, That's what vacation is for. It's like splurging, like enjoying life a little bit. Promise to only look at the good church girls. Church girls. That's funny, Edgar. Ingat, kuya. All right, ingat, everybody. Everybody have a good day. I'm just trying to get through here. Check out Gino's old videos. Thank you, HD. Yes, yes. But again, if he's got, Alfie, if you have specific questions, I'm here to help, my brother. Take care, OB. All right, take care, everyone. Also, all right, take care, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the live stream this morning, and I'll see you on the next live stream. Take care, everyone.